The National Weather Service in my spare bedroom has issued a potentially major snowstorm warning for the following areas: the Ohio Valley region, the Mid-Atlantic region, the Northeastern region of the United States of America until February 3rd, 2021. This one might be the big one, boys. Make sure you subscribe to Ryan Hall Y'all for all the latest information.
Okay, here we go. Welcome back, y'all. Ryan Hall here with the weather forecast. We're locking it in. We're in snow mode, baby. I'm calling it right now. Don't invest in GameStop. Invest in this nor'easter that's coming. I'm telling you right now. I've done called it. All right, we're going to start this video off by looking at a recap of what happened last night with the snow. Also, we're going to talk about the current conditions. And then we're immediately going to be talking about our next big storm that's going to affect the Ohio Valley all the way into the Mid-Atlantic and the northeastern coast of the United States. And then we're going to take a look at the medium range forecast models and see what else is out there. The next 5 days are going to be some of the most interesting days of weather on the eastern part of the United States that we've had in a really long time. So make sure you're subscribed to this channel. You don't want to miss it, I promise. And without further ado, let's start talking about the weather. All right, take a look at this snow in California, man. They're literally measuring it in feet near Shasta Mountain. Up in the Sierras there, the mountains of California, they're just getting pummeled, man. Tons of snow, literally feet of snow, 5 feet already in some places. I know a lot of us watching this video want snow, but do you want this much? Let me know down in the comments if you'd like to see 5 feet of snow at your house. Take a look at this. This is what's responsible for all that snow in California, man. It's literally an atmospheric river coming off the Pacific Ocean, just damming up against the mountains here. Just absolutely insane. And then last night we also had snow in North Carolina, and it was thunder snow for a lot of people. Check this out, lightning. Here's another one from New Hill, North Carolina. Lightning followed immediately by thunder during a snowstorm, buddy. Lord, yeah. Here's a pretty cool satellite loop showing the snow coverage across North Carolina and Virginia. This whole system moved a little bit further north than what we originally expected it was going to do. So a lot of places in Virginia got a good amount of snow, and you can see it beautifully here. We can also take a look at some storm reports on the ground here. Just south of Greenville, North Carolina, it looks like they got 1.5 inches of snow. Virginia Beach, 3 inches of snow. In Allegheny County in North Carolina, 5 inches. That's in the, the higher elevations. And then a lot of places in eastern Kentucky got 1 to 3 inches of snow. It snowed here at my house, but we actually didn't get much exactly where I live because there was a dry slot that formed in the precipitation, and it really cut down on our totals. We only ended up with a 1/2 inch, but our neighbors just to the west got 3 inches. But now that we've got that storm out of the way, let's take a look at the current conditions. As you can see, all that snow has really moved out of North Carolina and Virginia now. There is some leftover snow showers here in eastern Kentucky and West Virginia, just some flurries. This is moisture coming off of Lake Michigan that's kind of bouncing against the mountains. Nothing too significant there. But look here, they've got some pretty intense lingering snow showers around Boston and Cape Cod right now. And they've just got a ton of cold air coming down. Check this out. We've got wind chill advisories, wind chill warnings for upstate New York here. Wind chills are supposed to get down to negative 35 degrees tonight. So it's going to be cold. And then, of course, we got to visit our friends over here in California who are just dealing with some of the craziest stuff I've ever seen. Some people are calling this the storm of the decade for this area. But as you can see, we've still got a ton of moisture just bouncing against these mountains. Literally, all this moisture is coming out of the Pacific Ocean, and the mountains just wringing it out and dumping it all in the same spot. So we're having major issues with flooding over here too. Just a really bad situation in California right now. And it's that energy that's actually going to fuel our next storm. That's right, that big nor'easter that I'm talking about, that big mamma jamma that's going to affect an area right here, it's actually connected to this disturbance over here. So keep an eye on it. This is the latest Euro run, okay? This just came out, brand new, fresh data. We've got that atmospheric river coming out of the Pacific Ocean, just causing a ton of snow. That's going to continue all the way until January 30th. And then finally, some of that energy breaks free. It comes over the Rocky Mountains. We've got snow in Utah now, Colorado, New Mexico, and now we've got a new formation right here. Check this out. This is what we've been seeing for a while now. Like this part of the storm is locked in. Now let's put this into motion. Let's see what happens with it. As the low pressure system gets over Missouri, a large band of snow breaks out for the Ohio Valley, okay? And the northern plains and Great Lakes region. We've got heavy snow in northwest Illinois right now, from Des Moines and Iowa all the way to Cedar Rapids, and then that really just intensifies as we go forward. Here we are at 1 a.m. on January 31st. It's snowing heavily in Chicago, okay? And let's see what the last run looked like. So it looks to me like it's trending a little bit north. This is the most recent data. This is older data. This is a little bit older data. This is from yesterday, okay? So like yesterday, today, it's trending a little bit north. Now, we're going to see little fluctuations like this as we keep tracking this over the next couple days. But the fact of the matter is that this storm is still here. All right, let's push this forward a little bit more. 4 a.m. Now, here's going to be your problem, okay? If you're in Indiana, Ohio, in these areas, there's a very big potential here for you guys to get some of the most snow you've seen all year, or possibly even more than last year. But there is a problem. This low pressure system has a warm bubble with it, okay? This is what's really going to hurt us here in Kentucky. Even though there's a ton of cold air in place, the warm air from the Gulf is really going to try to come up and ruin that. So a lot of places, especially on the southern hinge, like say near Dayton and Cincinnati, or in central Indiana, what may happen is that you start off with really heavy snow and you get a couple inches that pile up real fast. And then as that low pressure system really tracks off to the east, you end up in that warm bubble. And for a brief period of time, you get heavy rain, which can really diminish your total snowfall. Watch as this moves forward. Here's that warm bubble now trying to work into central Indiana. It's definitely into Cincinnati now. And then that tries to move into Ohio as well. And then it's kind of eaten up by the mountains there, and Pennsylvania and the Northeast doesn't have to worry about it. So watch here. You got heavy snow in all of Ohio at 7 a.m. January 31st, but at 7 p.m. January 31st, 12 hours later, a lot of central and southern Ohio is getting rain. So my confidence on people who are going to get a whole lot of snow out of this is definitely going to be in the northern parts of these states, northern Indiana, northern Ohio, southern Michigan. But once again, this is going to fluctuate, okay? It may trend more north. It may trend a little bit further south. That's why you got to subscribe, and that's why we got to keep watching this. All right, here we are on February 1st. Now, there's a little bit of an energy transfer here where we've got a low pressure system off the coast of North Carolina. This is what's going to cause our nor'easter. Watch this. It comes up just off the coast of Delaware, and it just sits there. We saw this yesterday. It just sits there and it dances around and it has a good time. Like this right here, if this verifies, areas from Washington, D.C. to New York City to Hartford, Connecticut are just going to get buried with snow. And we've seen this, like this has been consistent now for a couple days, that this LP is really going to just sit there and be stationary. Now, some models have shown it do that here. Some have shown it doing it here. Like there's a big area of uncertainty of where that sets up. And if it does set up over here, that's a much less big of a snowstorm for you guys. Or if it sets up, you know, even further north up here, that's going to move the totals further inland. But as of right now, this run right here is great for Maryland. It's great for northern Delaware, northern New Jersey, New York City, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and especially Massachusetts here. And then that moves off by February 4th. And then looky here, we got another big storm following it right behind it, son. We'll talk more about that here in a minute. Okay, let's look at those snowfall totals. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah, a lot of people are going to be happy with this map. A very widespread area of over a foot of snow possible here. Let's take a closer look at these. Let's zoom in a little bit. Okay, guys, here's that big area in the Ohio Valley that's really looking good. This leg of the storm, there's two legs, right? There's this one and this one. This one I'm feeling way more confident about right now. I would almost say that there's a 50 to 60% chance of a very large band of snow developing like this somewhere in this region. It might be 50 miles north, it might be 100 miles south, it might do something like that, but this little leg of the storm is going to happen. And as you can see here, Chicago, 11 inches of snow. Columbus, 16 inches. Let's go. A lot of central Ohio's 14, 15, 16 inches. Northern Indiana's anywhere from 10 to 15 inches. Now the problem area here is a lot of these very southern areas, especially down in here, that are in the 2 to 8 inch range. You guys, if this storm verifies this way, a lot of that snow is going to fall before the rain falls. You might get 5 inches of snow real quick. It'll come down beautifully. Big, heavy, wet, giant flakes of snow piles up real fast, and then the rain comes and washes it all away. It'd be really sad, but that looks like that is a possibility for the southern edge of the storm down here. So yeah, that's what snow looks like in the Ohio Valley. Let's check out the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast. Okay, let's check it out. Here we go. Maine's getting buried in over a foot of snow, the whole state. Same thing with New Hampshire here. Boston, 15 inches of snow. All of Rhode Island, over 14 inches. Connecticut here looks to get over 10 inches of snow. New York City, Long Island, 1 foot. Look here, there's a little area in central New Jersey with 18.5 inches of snow. And this is another area from southern Delaware through central New Jersey through Long Island. This area right here, if you're south of that line, this also might be an area that's affected by that warm bubble. You might get a foot of snow on the ground in the beginning of the storm, or it may happen in the middle. I don't know. But like, I do believe that if the storm actually happens this way, there will be a lot of places on the coast that get a lot of snow, but it will be interrupted by rain. Now, once again, there's a chance for this to change. We're still over 100 hours out for this part of the storm, so we got to take these model runs with a grain of salt right now. Look here, southeastern Pennsylvania, 22 inches of snow. Now that's what I call Snowtown, baby. Okay, let's take a look at the Canadian and see what the Canadian has to say about this storm. Here we are on January 30th. We've got our storm forming with our Gulf moisture and that cold air coming down from Canada, and here's that big wedge of heavy snow stretching now from eastern Kentucky all the way back into Iowa and Minnesota. This looks to be a little bit further south, okay? So the Canadian is showing a slightly more southern trend, which is better for you people in central Indiana and central Ohio, or even southern Ohio. A southern trend is good unless you're in southern Michigan, pretty much. But according to the Canadian, southern Michigan still gets some snow, but look at how heavy the snow is right here in central Indiana. This is the 31st of January. That low pressure system tracks over St. Louis, and now it's going into Indiana, and it goes over Cincinnati, and we've got lingering snow here in the Ohio Valley. And now our attention shifts over here, okay? We've got heavy snow in Maryland now. We've got that secondary place of energy that forms over here. Let's see if it stays stationary like it does on our other models. That's a pretty good signal of a stationary low pressure system. It kind of clocks backwards a little bit. That just really, if you pay attention to the coast, that's really putting down a lot of snow as we go forward with that, and then eventually it does move off. So let's watch the progression of that storm again. Here it comes, and there it finally goes. This one has it lasting all the way through February 4th. All right, snow totals here are really interesting. It's less good for Pennsylvania, but better for everybody else. Central Indiana here, there's a large area with over 12 inches of snow. Same thing for central Ohio. It's a little bit more widespread in that over 8-inch range. Looks like there's a bullseye right over New York City here with close to 20 inches of snow. And this is also better for the coastal areas of New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, Boston up here. Looks like they're going to get pummeled according to this run. So this is also a very good run. The Canadian has done really good this year with winter storms. So if the Canadian sees this happening, and I'm telling you, man, sell your game stock and invest in this storm. Did I say game stock? GameStop stock. GameStop stock. Okay, so we're going to have much more on that storm tomorrow. Tomorrow's video is going to be chock full of information. As we take a look at tomorrow's model data, we're going to have so much more information about what's actually going to happen with this storm. We're going to take a look at analog data. We're going to take a look at a lot of stuff. We're going to go super in depth on this storm, okay? But for right now, let's talk about future events. What could possibly happen after this storm? The GFS shows a major big storm moving through the Great Plains. So from Minnesota, South Dakota there into Wisconsin and Michigan, this would probably be somewhat of a severe weather event for the Ohio Valley and Mississippi Valley regions. Breaks out of snow in Pennsylvania and New York up here, but it does eventually change over to rain. And this is going to bring down a ton of cold air. Actually, let's look at temperatures. Yeah, some really cold air plunging into the United States here. Look how cold it gets up here in Canada. It looks to me like that polar vortex everybody's been hyping up is finally starting to build up, and it's just ready to unload. Look at this on the last frame here of the GFS. That is just ready to come down. And this is the middle of February. So if we were to get a big injection of cold air like that into the middle part of the United States or the eastern part of the United States, and we had some February top storm come through, we would have a lot of stuff to talk about for late February. So yeah, that 540 line's all the way down into Mexico here, and what happens with that? It does look like there's a little bit of a system that tries to form along that cold front from that second storm that moves through, and that might try to bring snow all the way down to the coast of Mississippi, Mobile, Alabama. What? This is something that we'll have to look out for because this is sometimes how big southern snowstorms start. A large low pressure system will move off to the north, leaving a cold front down, and then that sparks up another system at the bottom of that cold front that then tries to take off north. That's kind of what we're looking at here. It doesn't show anything too significant. I mean, don't get me wrong, this would be very significant if that happened. Atlanta, Georgia would get a good amount of snow. Piedmonts of the Carolinas would get a very good amount of snow, and then that moves on up. Little clipper comes through on the 8th of February. And anything else? Do we have anything else? There's another clipper on the 9th of February. And let's see here, another big storm comes together on the 11th of February. 987 millibar low pressure system in Iowa. What does that do? That's going to try to cut north there, and it looks to me like that might be another, severe weather scenario with a little bit of snow forming on the backside of the cold front here, and then that moves on out. So yeah, guys, look at this. I'm going to play this fast. Tell me this is not an active pattern. You tell me that's not an active pattern with a straight face, son. You tell me right now, okay? Total snowfall through February 13th looks really good for people north of this line right here. You guys in this area, I am so sorry. We got a lot of snow to go, guys. We're just now moving into February, and then March, we've had some major historic blizzards happen in March, so if you're a snow lover, don't give up hope. We've got a lot of stuff to go. All right, guys, that's all the weather talk I have for you today. I appreciate you so much for always coming here and being a part of these videos. This channel is becoming my #1 focus right now. I'm really working on trying to grow this. I'm getting a storm chasing truck put together. It's going to be insane. And I'm going to go out to Tornado Alley this spring and try to create some really awesome footage and like content around tornadoes. Going to vlog the whole thing. It should be pretty interesting. And then also, whenever I'm not actually out there, like with this upcoming storm, I plan on doing live streams, live coverage of everything that's going on, working with you guys, the viewers, like getting pictures and video reports in and just relaying that, and that way we can all kind of watch the storm unfold together here on YouTube. My goal is to make this YouTube channel your #1 source of hobbyist weather information. Obviously, if you have to make any real life decisions about the weather, always use the National Weather Service. What I'm doing here is just for fun, okay? And I hope you're having fun, guys. And until next time, keep your eyes on the sky. Or something. Man, that was almost good. All right, I'll see you later. Bye.